Hey everyone! I thought I would do a video that I actually haven't done in about 5 years, and I want to share with you how it is that I afford luxury. Not because I feel like I have to, but because I want to. And the reason why I want to is because I think with social media, you can feel quite inadequate. Even I can, you know, watching social media, I digest it, and sometimes when you're thinking that person's like buying 14 bags a month, how are they doing it? Does make you question yourself. And furthermore, a lot of the things that have got me to where I am today, which has left me fortunate to be able to afford things, I want to share those with you because the backstory and the journey might inspire some of you, might help some of you. So I hope that you enjoy this and that you learn something from it, if you're looking for tips, of course. So where I started out, I had this job when I was at university. I worked there for like 3-4 years, and when I graduated, so I stayed in the job after I graduated because there was no other work, and I think I only had to stay there like a year, half a year or a year or something after I graduated before I managed to get another job. But the place I was working in was the worst for bullying. It was horrific. In fact, I later met someone who worked there as well, and we were both talking about it, and she worked there 5 years after me, and she said that the level of bullying was still the same and hadn't changed. And it made me really, you know, it really makes you think about the culture of a place. Anyway, it wasn't nice. I was working there one day and I got a lucky break. I was working on a project with a girl who worked at a marketing agency, like an ad agency, and they were doing the creative and I was kind of briefing them, and the girl said to me towards the end of the project, she said, why don't you come into the agency, hang out with us, and then you can see the work completed and meet the team. Fine. It was a day away from the office and the bullying, so I went. When I got to this ad agency, my eyes were, I was so mind blown. As soon as I walked in, I thought, this is the kind of place I want to work. It was very typical creative agency, bare brick walls. There was the agency dog. You go into the studio where you've got all of the creatives working and there's like music playing and everyone's having a good time. And I thought to myself, this is the environment that I want to work in. Not in a very stuffy corporate environment that is very data driven and actually not very friendly. I thought that's the kind of place I want to work. So after going to this agency, I started looking on recruitment websites for jobs in creative agencies or like ad agencies. And I started going for a few jobs, and there was this one place, and I walked in and I thought, this would be my dream job to work here. Everyone was so nice and the agency looked incredible. I got the job. I couldn't believe it. I was so pleased I got the job. And I found out there and then, after the interview, they were like, there you go, when can you start? And I was so excited. And that was where my journey began. I've always worked in advertising agencies. And as soon as I got that job, I'm a very focused person. Whether it's my job or whether it's YouTube, if I'm going to do something, I am obsessed with doing it to the best ability that I can. And that's how I was with work. And I treated work almost like an analogy of climbing a mountain. I knew where I wanted to be, and I used to think, at the end of this year, what do I want my job title to be? At the end of this year, I want to ask for a pay rise. How am I going to do that? And it wasn't just about, oh, can I have some money at the end of the year? It was about me putting in everything that I could so that I was deserving of it. So I had this goal that I wanted to hit director by 30, and I did it. And I was pinching myself again. I got the promotion, and then really quickly after that, so I got a promotion to director, and then I think it must have been about 6 months later, I got called into a room and I was like, oh no. And they said, we're going to promote you to senior director. And I was just like, this is incredible, completely incredible. And that is how I afford this stuff, is through the work that I've always done. And anyone watching this can do what I've done. What I've done is really not difficult. The difficult thing was right back in the beginning for me, knowing what direction I wanted to go in. Right back in the beginning, it was knowing the industry I wanted to work in. And that one chance of going to that design agency that day opened the path for me with everything else that I ended up doing thereafter. Some time went past after I had that promotion, and I just felt as though, you know, the metaphorical mountain that I told you about that I used to climb, I felt that I got to the top of it and I started to feel restless, like a bit bored, a bit what next, a bit I've got to this level and I like to know that there's something above me that I'm going to climb towards, and I felt that I didn't have that. And it just, I loved my job, I absolutely loved it. You know, every single place I've worked in, Sunday evenings, I would look forward to work the next day, because the people that are even my friends now are people that I've known from different agencies in the past. They're the people that came to my wedding. They're the people that I still hang out with now. But I just felt bored. And the only thing, I could either have joined a bigger agency and been a small fish in a bigger pond, or I could set up my own agency. And we both were doing little bits on the side for our own clients that we had. And he said, look, we've got enough work to scrape by for a bit, do our own thing, and if it doesn't work, then we can go back and get jobs again. But if it does work, this could be it. So we're just kind of doing bits of work here and there, and it just slowly started to grow. And for any of you watching, if you want to set up your own business, I wouldn't dissuade it, but at the same time, it's not a case of you get up at 10 every morning and you take days off and you're on the beach on your laptop, etc. I would say that we work more hours now than we've ever worked before. At least when you work in a job, when you leave and you go home at the end of the day, that time's yours, or on the weekend, that time's yours. For us, it's constant, and because it's just the two of us. And to go back to that point of how I afford this luxury stuff, it's where I've got to in my work. I don't have any debt. The bills that I've got are like my bills, mortgage, that's the bills that I've got. We've chosen not to have kids. Got nieces and nephews, love that, but like handing them back at the end. So we've got all of these things that we're not paying for. So it gives us a little bit of financial freedom to buy things and to enjoy things. Now also there is YouTube as well. YouTube is my side thing that I love doing. It's like my little side hobby. And every time I think about quitting it, because sometimes I'm like, oh, again, the kind of person I am, I don't like missing a video, because I think if I'm going to do YouTube, you're going to do it right. But sometimes, because I always block film on a weekend, today is Sunday, sometimes I think I can't be bothered. But every time I think about quitting, I think about how much I'd miss it, because I've been doing it 10 years now, 10 years in July. Think about how much I'd miss it, how much I would genuinely miss talking to all of you. And I also think because I work in social media, if I quit it, the algorithms change so quickly on Instagram, on YouTube. Really the only way that you know how things really work is by doing it. And that's another reason why I do it as well. But of course, you earn a bit of money doing YouTube. I wouldn't dissuade anyone from doing YouTube, but I would say don't do it if you want money, because it's not that amazing. The money that I earn from YouTube, I actually put back into my YouTube channel, because it's not cheap doing it either. I burn through cameras because I use them so much, and because I vlog with them and I drop them and God knows what else, I burn through them. This is my 4th camera right now, Canon G7X. I also have got box lights everywhere. I've got 2 lights either side of you, one behind, one over there. Electricity to pay for this, because you know what electricity bills are like right now. So yeah, it's not cheap doing it. The main way that I can afford luxury is through my day job. And for any of you watching, I have not done anything clever. To get here, I've not done anything clever. And if you're watching this and you are aspiring to have a certain lifestyle, do it. And it doesn't even matter what age you are. Don't worry thinking, oh, you know, I could only get to that lifestyle if I hit it by 30. No, just because that was my goal, you can hit it at any age. And all I've done is work and climbed up the ladder. It's all I've done. It's as simple as that. It's really not, I haven't done anything special. And that's it. That's how I afford it. I hope, if anything, that you found this a bit interesting. And also, you know, as I said earlier, I don't want anyone to ever watch and feel inadequate or how are you doing it and I'm not. That's how I'm doing it. That's how I've done it. And if I can do it, anyone can do it, I promise you. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.